SML, a once utter classic, once a solid series, an utter staple of every single child from the 2010s childhood, has now turned into a show of ruin. Okay, let's just get this out the way. I know the video says what killed SML, but if we're talking about popularity, it's certainly not dead. Sure, it's not as popular as it once was, like, I swear, back then, literally every single kid knew what SML was, but it's definitely not dead. Alright though, what made SML good is the real question here. The characters, because honestly, although the plots were pretty decent, they weren't plots that would keep you on your toes, that would be rising every second. And when it comes to background and just overall looks, quality of the show, yeah, let's be honest, it did not look good. They literally had the hands controlling the stuffies and puppets. The characters, though, was what really held the show up. Black Yoshi, Woody, Shrek, all these were characters that were commonly used in every single SML episode. Until what I would like to call the Jeffy apocalypse. One character joined SML that day, and SML was never the same. His name was Jeffy. His character was utterly unlikable. He was annoying. He was a menace, and just a genuinely bad role model to any kids on YouTube. And so many characters got so fewer episodes. Woody got like 1 episode in every 3 years. Black Yoshi got like 2 episodes every year. Just every character's snapped into dust almost. However, a certain set of characters actually managed to stay alive and were still consistently in the show. And those characters were Bowser Jr., Cody, Joseph, Bowser, Chef Pee-Pee. The Junior, who was arguably the most well-written out of all these characters, started off as just a stereotype of a spoiled white kid, but slowly grew more personality traits, both good and bad. Now, besides him being spoiled, he was also just a good, loving, caring child with a big imagination, which in my opinion was very good, and they had a good balance of that. Because for every scene of him whining and him being spoiled, there were scenes of him caring about his friends and about his family. Unlike right now, where Junior's sole personality trait is just being a spoiled asshole. There was also Cody, who was probably the most funny character out of the entire show. He was extremely intelligent and tried to guide the group in the right direction. However, he was also extremely weird, which was normally funny. And sometimes he could lose his temper. Again, good writing. Finally, there was Joseph. And although his character wasn't as complex as the other two, just sort of him being homeless and eating bugs and then making jokes about him having to eat bugs, it worked because his intelligence was on the level of Bowser Jr., them both being dumb, making Cody sort of like the straight man. Or in this case, the gay man. But Cody was also weird and wacky enough so that he wouldn't get annoying like a lot of straight men were. Their whole characters just being like, hey yo, you guys can't do that. This trio made some of the best episodes in the entire show. And some of them barely had any plots and were just sort of them goofing around. Example, the superhero episodes, one of the best episodes in the entire series, and it worked because back then their characters were so interesting that them just playing with their powers and arguing the whole episode was entertaining. Like, the plot didn't have anything remotely serious happen until Cody transformed into Chef Pee-Pee because he got superpowers in that episode and used being Chef Pee-Pee to bang Bowser's dad. Also, by the way, this is some more proof that just the humor in general has gotten bad, because they decided to remake every single old video from this time period, and they completely ruined this joke. Like, instead of Cody saying that he banged Bowser Jr.'s dad, he just said he beat him up. Look, I understand that they had to make it more child-friendly, you know, even though they were saying the F word every 2 seconds. I can understand that, but bro, you could have at least made Cody be like, oh yeah, I made your dad suck my... And then you could have just censored the word. Easy, simple, YouTube won't mind. Earlier I mentioned... Hold on, what is this? 66% of you aren't subscribed? What y'all goofies doing, bro? Man, you like this content and you ain't even subscribed? I bet y'all even forgot to like... Man, bro, what y'all doing? You pretty sorry. That Jeffy was unlikable. Look, sometimes Jeffy can be funny, but most of the time he was just an unlikable bastard. Me calling him a bastard actually works here, by the way, because both his parents left him, and I don't even blame him. Also, I can easily compare him to Junior, because there's a lot of aspects that old Junior did right, and then Jeffy did wrong. First off is that yes, Bowser Jr. did do bad things, but he was punished for them, and he wasn't hyped up by everybody. Because whenever I see Jeffy, literally everybody hypes him up for whatever he does. Like an episode of with Jeffy can go like this. Jeffy is annoying his dad says stop, and then his dad gets karma. Like, what did his dad do? Then a lot of kids that were watching SML just started copying all of Jeffy's traits, including that one time Jeffy threw a whole temper tantrum because his dad wouldn't get him an app on the App Store, so then he proceeded to try to hang himself. Yes, that was a real episode. And the thing is, because nobody in the episode thought that it was stupid that he did that, and not to mention the fact that he got the game in the end, one small child who didn't know the utter implications of what Jeffrey was doing almost hung himself in real life. And then the creator's response was like, whatever. My guy, you almost made a child hang himself. You have no other reaction than that? Bruh. So then YouTube did the right thing and removed ads on his main channel. So then he jumped to another channel, where YouTube removed his ads again, and he was forced to be child friendly. However, SML was still good. Despite the fact that they had to be child friendly, they were still able to sneak a few adult jokes in there. And those jokes still hit. Then came SML's last good year, 2019. And I might add that Junior's character was at its peak over here. Because at that point, he got smarter, he was less spoiled. It genuinely felt like he was going through character development. And it shows, because he was literally willing to sacrifice many beloved things of his to go save Australia, which was on fire at the time. But a lot of his funny negative qualities still existed, making him still an endearing character. But I don't know when this happened, but I'm assuming it was in 2020. SML started uploading more. And although at first, hey, that sounds like a good thing, they went from uploading 2 videos a week to 3. And the problem with uploading more videos a week is that you don't get enough time to cook them up in the oven. So a lot of the characters were lazily written, said things that they wouldn't normally say, and just lost all their character development. Junior definitely fell the most short, as he slowly just became dumber and dumber and dumber and more spoiled, and all of his good qualities were slowly vanishing away. And although his character was long ruined before then, I feel like the final nail on the coffin for SML was when they were forced to use these ugly ass puppets because Nintendo didn't let them use their characters. Which honestly, I can understand Nintendo doing that. But what I don't understand is SML's choice to change all the characters into humans and also make them extremely ugly looking humans. Like, ugh. If I saw these designs, you could not tell me that they were human versions of the other ones. I would not believe you, but here it is right now. Honestly, what you could have done is do what SMG4 did. Take the Nintendo licensed character and change a little bit. Like example, with Bowser Jr., you could just simply make his horns bigger and flat at the top, give him circular eyes, maybe add some of the aspects from the human form, give his bracelets more spike. Just change just enough so it's not copyrighted, but still so that it still looks like and feels like the character. But sadly, this was right next to the time where SML's props started looking worse and worse. It's definitely an aspect of them uploading more. Like, remember when they were able to set up whole entire props? Like the time they covered their entire house in saran wrap for an episode? One of the best episodes in the series, by the way. Well, none of those episodes exist anymore. Now it's just the characters sitting around doing one thing, them extending that thing for 20 minutes, 20 boring minutes, or 10 minutes, or whatever. And then that's the whole episode. And so much of the newer episodes is just them talking about the same thing. Sure, older episodes in SML had them talk a lot, but there was one key difference. They were talking about different stuff. They were doing funny stuff while they were talking about that stuff. The stuff was actually interesting, and it also didn't take up the entire video. I guarantee you they spend at least 70% on the couch in the newer episodes. So in conclusion, I have a lot of love for the old SML. But honestly, new SML just sucks. Like, the characters are... What? Screw that. The characters, I can't even call them characters. They're cardboard cutouts who make bad jokes sometimes. If any jokes at all. The plots are dull and repetitive, and the new characters to replace the older, more interesting characters are straight up boring. Alright, so the reasons why this video came out late is one, which is an actual good excuse. I had tennis camp, which removed half of the day for me to work on videos and also made me tired the other half of the day. And 2, which is the more dumb excuse, I got Jurassic World Evolution 2 and yeah, I played that for a while. Oh well, like, share. I forgot to mention that SML lost its heart over the years. Okay, bye.